So, like, correct. They only allow, correct. The court only allows because they don't like because the budget goes like so. Yeah, kind of, but it's kind of weird in the past because then they're like so they have like an internal court courier that helps like shuffle other pleadings like for I think restraining orders or other things like that from San Marcos. We've asked if they can do that, and then there's like in the past they said no because then we can't give preferential treatment to the defendants. We have to offer to the plaintiffs and the attorneys. And we don't do that. They just don't. So they don't want to. Because they used to hear these under Vista up until I think 2018. That's when they closed that. That was the last Superior Courthouse they would hear these. At some point. Once upon a time, there was like each of the four Superior Courthouses had those units. So you have one in the home, you have Vista, budget cuts, slowly consolidating. Yeah, Vista was the last one. But yeah, so that's the thing is like we subcontract with the city for housing rents. We're trying to see if we can set up like a kiosk or help them. Yeah. So like they'll go to the clinic and they're like, well, we can help you prepare it, but then you still have to drive. So then they'll be like, okay, we're just gonna go last year. California Rural Assistance. So they actually have an office in Vista. Like that's their mainly they're not here because they serve like football workers, but they used to before like last year they had to downsize a lot. But before they did that, we could like they would actually help. So we like Vista. So yeah, so Vista would help prepare the answers. Yeah, and then they would have like 2 days a week, 2 or 3 days a week that they would go in and drop off and provide the answer. So STPPL would rep it and then say, look, you know, like if they only do it once, yeah, because they don't not only one attorney do housing, and she does a lot of things, so not just housing, she does other stuff. So she only has like 1 day a week where she can help. So she's like, just refer to me like people what no other needs patients. So yeah, it's big.
Oh, it's 6 o'clock. I was up here reading my agenda. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Lord, for all that you do for us every day. Thank you for our beautiful city, and thank you for all of the people that on a regular basis come to serve our community as volunteers and also up here on the dais. I thank you for all of our beautiful trails and parks and all of the wonderful people that we have living in our community. Tonight, when we are discussing our items on the agenda, I pray that you would help us hear each other and also listen and make decisions for the best of all of our community. Thank you for this beautiful community. In your name, amen. Okay, Mr. Skollick, could we have a roll call?
Yeah. Councilmember LeBlanc,
Present.
Councilmember Musgrove,
Here.
Councilmember Nunez,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Sanella, here, and Mayor Jones.
Here. Okay, we have a couple of items that, a couple of presentations, well, proclamations, if the council could join me in front. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Councilmember LeBlanc had surgery, so we're just making sure she's doing good. If you see me pulling the chair out for her, that's why. Nothing weird, just trying to take good care of her. Anyway, so we have a couple of presentations or proclamations this evening. The first one is going to be for Autism Acceptance Month, and Teresa Contreras, the Executive Director of the Autism Society of San Diego, is here today. Welcome. Okay, I'm going to read this. They do put it for me in large font, which I do appreciate. Staff knows this. Anyway, autism spectrum disorder is a developed condition that affects individuals in diverse ways, influencing communication, behavior, and social interaction. And whereas autism reflects the richness of human neurodiversity, with each individual possessing unique strengths, talents, and perspectives that contribute to our community. And whereas fostering acceptance, understanding, and inclusion of individuals with autism strengths, the community by promoting compassion, equity, and respect for all residents. And whereas the City of San Marcos is committed to creating an inclusive environment where individuals of all abilities are valued, supported, and empowered to thrive in schools, workplace, and public life. And whereas Autism Acceptance Month encourages moving beyond awareness toward meaningful acceptance through actions and support accessibility, inclusion, and, of course, belonging. Whereas on April 28, 2026, we recognize the contributions of individuals with autism and reaffirm our commitment to removing barriers and promoting inclusive practices throughout our city. Therefore, the City Council of the City of San Marcos does hereby proclaim April 2026 as Autism Acceptance Month and recognizes today as a day to encourage residents to promote understanding, acceptance, and inclusion of individuals with autism. Thank you for coming.
You.
Yes. And I'm sure you'd like to say a few words.
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for this proclamation. We do appreciate it. Autism Society San Diego is celebrating its 60th anniversary this year, and so it's thanks to the support of communities like this that keep us going and will keep us going for the next 60 years. So thank you so much. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to give you that. Awesome. And then if you would come and take a picture with us. Bless us. Of course. Oh, wait. We got lots of photo people.
Yep, keep smiling.
Like, I tried.
Carol, you want me to?
Sorry, one more time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
I'm just going to say one more thing. I just forgot.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
And just wanted to again thank the City of San Marcos because of some grants. We're able to actually expand some of our services to this community. So be on the lookout for more information for that as well. Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, next up we have the Legal Aid Society. Is it Gil, Vera, and Samantha Mills? Thank you for coming. All right, I'm going to read this. I actually have one of these for each of you. Thank you. I'll give that to you. The San Marcos City Council hereby recognizes Fair Housing Month. And you know, we love housing in our city. We have a lot of it in all different categories. I call it the housing ladder. April 11th, 2026 marks the 58th anniversary of the passage of the Fair Housing Act, which protects individuals from discrimination on the basis of race, color, sex, disability, religion, familial status, and national origin in the sale or rental of housing. And whereas the City of San Marcos is committed to exemplifying the Fair Housing Act, Title 13 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, by continuing to address discrimination in the in our community and support programs that will educate the public about the right to equal housing opportunities. That's actually 8. I don't know why I was saying 13. Whereas when access to housing is unfairly limited, it in turn limits access to good-paying jobs, quality schools, and economic opportunity. The City of San Marcos affirmatively furthers fair housing by providing fair housing services and information to residents as part of our fair housing program adopted by the City Council. Whereas the City of San Marcos is a member of the San Diego Regional Alliance for Fair Housing, whose mission is to promote fair housing throughout the region, and the federal government has designated the month of April as Fair Housing Month, during which interested parties from the public and private sector will participate in a nationwide effort to provide education about fair housing laws and to promote fair housing practices. Therefore, we, the City Council of the City of San Marcos, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Fair Housing Month and invite the citizens of San Marcos to promote and encourage fair housing concepts within our community, presented this day, April 28th, 2026. And Gil, did you have a couple of words for us?
Yes.
Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank the mayor and city council for having us here today. We are really thankful for the partnership with the city of San Marcos in affirmatively furthering fair housing and making sure that all its residents have the right to access housing regardless of race, religion, creed, national origin, disability, and many of the other categories you just heard the mayor talk about. And in closing, we're really grateful for the continued partnership and hope to be able to continue to provide these services for all City of San Marcos residents. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming. I know it's a drive for you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, moving on to our consent calendar, and I have one item that I wish to pull, which is number 8, because I do need to recuse myself. Are there any other items that any council members wish to pull?
Move to approve the balance, Mayor.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none, item number 8, I do need to recuse myself because one of the principals of the company has donated to my campaign for supervisor, so I will be recusing myself.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll take on item number 8 for us. Unless my colleagues have any further discussion on item number 8, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Great, thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Motion passes 4-0.
With Mayor Jones not voting.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, moving on to oral communications. No speaker slips. Public hearings. The first one is going to be item number 13, and this is for the Improvement Area F59 formation and annexation. This is the time and place for the public hearing relating to the designation of...
Madam Mayor, we're on, that's
I'm
for
sorry,
14.
14?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're on- yeah,
geez.
13.
I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got a script, which I never have. So I'm thinking, okay, I want it to all go off perfectly. All right, do we have a CDBG? I forgot we had that first. Do we have a presentation this evening, Sylvia?
Yes, we do. Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Sylvia Solis-Daniels, Housing and Neighborhood Services Director. Tonight, we have a public hearing for you for the Community Development Block Grant Annual Action Plan approval for the 2026-27 program year, along with substantial amendments. And we have Quentin Hufford, Senior Analyst here, who will present the Community Development Block Grant item.
Thank you, Sylvia. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, provides annual funding to eligible jurisdictions through the Community Development Block Grant Entitlement Program. Funds must be used for eligible projects and programs that benefit low and moderate income individuals and households in the city of San Marcos that are consistent with the national objectives and city's approved 2025 to 2029 Consolidated Plan, or abbreviated as CON Plan. To receive these funds, the city must adopt an annual action plan that identifies how funding will be allocated each year, consistent with the community needs and program goals in the city's 2025-29 Consolidated Plan. The 26-27 Annual Action Plan and substantial amendments to prior year plans were published on the city's website on March 20th, 2026, for more than a 30-day public review and comment period, which will close at the conclusion of tonight's public hearing. Oops, sorry, one back. For program year 2026-2027, the city will receive $685,579 in CDBG entitlement funding and will utilize approximately $496,937 in reinstated prior year funds for a total of $1,182,516. Funding priorities reflect community input gathered through the consolidated plan process and additional outreach during the annual action plan public comment period. We're actually still on the same slide. CDBG funds are allocated across the following eligible program areas. Program administration, which may utilize up to 20% of the annual CDBG allocation. Staff recommend allocating $137,000 to administration, and which also includes fair housing. Public service programs, which may utilize up to 15% of the annual CDBG allocation to fund nonprofit and social service providers serving low and moderate income residents. Staff recommend allocating $102,500 to public services. Programs include rental assistance and wraparound support for low-income seniors, youth, and families, as well as meal delivery and support services for seniors, food distribution for youth and families, and senior transportation services. Public service recommendations are based on a competitive application process, community input, and alignment with the consolidated plan priorities. These public service programs include rental assistance activities administered by nonprofit providers. Rental assistance is provided on a short-term emergency basis, is limited to income-qualified households, and payments are made directly to landlords or service providers in accordance with federal CDBG requirements. Additional program eligibility requirements are included in the rental assistance program qualifications attachment provided with the staff report. Affordable housing programs include low-income loans for owner-occupied rehabilitation and accessibility improvements, supporting housing preservation and aging in place for low-income homeowners. Staff recommend allocating $100,000 to housing affordability programs. And then community facilities and neighborhood infrastructure, also known as capital improvements, are not subject to a maximum allocation and may include infrastructure and facility improvements, but cannot be used for maintenance or repair. Staff recommend allocating $346,079 in new entitlement funds to community facilities, and then $496,937 in reinstated prior year funds to neighborhood infrastructure and park improvements. Overall, funding priorities focus on housing affordability, housing stability, essential services, and neighborhood improvements. The next slide, please. Staff is also recommending approval of substantial amendments to the program year 2023 to 2024 and 2025 to 2026 annual action plans. As shown here, the amendments primarily remove the Bradley Park Master Plan and reallocate funding to active projects. Richmar Park Phase 2 and Senior Activity Center HVAC project are both increased to reflect updated construction costs, while neighborhood lighting remains unchanged and program administration includes a minor adjustment using expiring funds. These amendments shift funding to projects that are completed or near construction ready, with several expected to draw down funds within the current or upcoming program year. Substantial amendments are required for significant program changes and follow the city's citizen participation plan, including public review and hearing. Overall, these changes prioritize construction-ready projects and support the timely expenditure of CDBG funds. Last slide, please. Following the public hearing, staff will finalize the 2026 to 2027 annual action plan and substantial amendments and prepare them for submission to HUD. Once approved by HUD, CDBG funding will be made available through a reimbursable grant starting July 1, 2026. This concludes our presentation, and the staff recommends approval of the annual plan and substantial amendments.
Thank you, Quentin. I did have a question, but I do have 2 comments, of course. The HVAC at the senior center, they're very excited about this and so much needed. So really happy to see us do that. And then the housing stabilization rental assistance, that is such a great program. If people have, I think this helps people from becoming homeless in the fact that, you know, sometimes you lose a job suddenly or you have a medical expense that you weren't expecting, and you do have to qualify for it, but I'm glad that we're still planning on doing that. And then the fair housing, I'm assuming that goes toward our Legal Aid Society, which was here this evening. Okay, I just wanted to double check on that. All right, that's all that I had. Any other questions from the rest of the council? Yes, council member?
Can you just elaborate a little bit on the removal of Bradley Park, the reason for removing it, the master plan?
We had a more shovel-ready project, and then in evaluating the highest priority need, we moved towards the senior center in Richmar Park.
So we're not abandoning it, we're just moving forward on those that we can address immediately.
Correct, not abandoning it, but not addressing it with CDBG funding.
Terrific, thank you.
Yeah, just wanted to thank staff for the presentation. Really like when we're able to kind of spread some of our grant funding across the community. And as you went through the list, you hear everything that you want to hear, the youth programs, the senior programs. Super excited about the senior transportation services. I think that's absolutely critical in the community. And then, of course, just neighborhood lighting and ADA pedestrian accessibility to our parks is just phenomenal. So thank you so much. You covered it all.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Councilmember Nunez.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have a couple of questions. I'm also glad to see that we are taking into account some of the pressing needs of our residents. So just a couple of questions on what we're contemplating here and the amount. So I think we might see an increase in the need, and I'm looking at the amounts that are allocated. Are we going to have some flexibility in increasing these numbers, or can we talk about that depending on what we might see?
We do recognize that the need will exceed the funds available. This is our attempt for funding this gap with CDBG funding, but overall, we're looking at other resources for future housing and neighborhood services funds.
Okay. Thank you for that. I'm glad we're taking that into account and maybe leveraging some of the other resources that might already be out there. Thank you. My other question is really in terms of the availability of these funds. So if we approve this tonight, in terms of these funds being available, when will that happen? What will that look like?
The service providers will be funding will be available to service providers effective July 1, so in the new fiscal year.
Okay, thank you for that. And I hope that we utilize maybe some of our social media and making sure that our residents know that it is available. And then the other piece, I'm looking at the qualifications that are part of our packet for this evening. Can you talk a little bit about how we came up with these qualifications? Will our partners have any discretion, or what will that look like?
Because the funding source is a federal program, we're required to follow federal funding requirements. So these guidelines came from direct federal requirements.
Okay, thank you for that. And for our residents, These qualifications are part of this evening's agenda packet, if anybody needs to look at those. That's all for me. Thank you for this.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember LeBlanc.
I just wanted to say great work to staff. Thank you for doing all of this. You always work hard on this. And after looking through everything, I'm always excited to see where we allocate this funding. And I think this is a great use of the funds this year. We hit everything. So thanks again.
Okay, this is a public hearing, so I move to close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Actually, so let me just read it real quick, since I'm going to keep with my consistency. That would be resolutions number 2026-9579 and 2026-9580, adoption of program year 2026-27 CDBG annual action plan and substantial amendments to 2023-24 and 2025 to 2026 annual action plans. So it'd be to adopt all of those. And so we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Any noes? Seeing none? Motion passes unanimously. Okay, so now we will be moving forward to our formation of an area number F59, formation and annexation. This is a time and place for the public hearing relating to the designation of improvement area F59 of Community Facilities District 9802 as a separate improvement area and the levy of special taxes within the improvement area. Is there a staff report on this item? Well, hello, they did a quick change. We have Song, LeBaron, and Richard Wall, and then Isaac Etchemendy. Welcome.
Staff's going to give a presentation on items 14 and 15. I'm going to pass it over to Song to do that staff presentation.
Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight, I'll be providing an overview of Community Facilities District 9802, Improvement Area F59, including the proposed annexation and authorization of future annexations. Next slide, please. The citywide CFD 9802 provides funding for ongoing maintenance of lighting, landscaping, open space, and preserve areas. Improvement Area F59 will fund additional improvements, including storm drain, stormwater treatment facilities, parks and recreational or open space areas, multi-use trails and related amenities, and enhanced public improvements. The map on the right-hand side of the screen there shows the district in the shaded areas. And so why are we creating a larger improvement area? Number one, this will consolidate services into a single district, and that will help reduce future administrative burdens, and it will also create transparency for landowners. The landowners will know the special tax up front, and they will not have to go through individual project-specific analysis. Next slide, please. To summarize prior council actions, on March 24th, 2026, City Council adopted 2 resolutions of intention. These actions formally initiated the proceedings. They declared the city's intent to annex territory into the improvement area, establish the proposed boundaries for both the annexation area and the future annexation area, and they set the date and time of tonight's public hearing. Finally, all public noticing has been completed, with notices being mailed to the affected property owners and notices published in the newspaper. Next slide, please. For tonight's action items, there are 2 actions. Item 14 for the formation and annexation. This item would annex 3 development sites and formally establish improvement area F59. Those development sites are AOA West, otherwise known as Paloma, Restaurant Row, and the Sears site. As part of this item, City Council will conduct the public hearing, hold the special election, and adopt the resolution declaring the election results, And finally, consider the first reading of the ordinance authorizing special tax levy. Item 15 relates to the future annexation authorization. This item establishes the future annexation area, and it allows projects to annex into improvement area F59 over time as development occurs. For this item, City Council will conduct the public hearing and consider adoption of the resolution authorizing future annexations. And this concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any questions of staff? Okay, I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers this evening? Mr. Skolik?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay, do we have any written protests?
No protests have been received, therefore a majority protest does not exist.
Okay, are there any persons registered to vote within the territory improvement area number F59?
The County of San Diego Registrar of Voters has confirmed there are no registered voters residing within the territory of improvement area number F59.
And have the notices of this public hearing been published and mailed in accordance with state law?
Yes, notices have been provided in accordance with state law.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Seeing none, do any members of the council have any further questions or comments? No? Okay, do I have a motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. The resolution of the City Council of the City of San Marcos acting as a legislative body of Community Facilities District 9802, lighting, landscaping, open space, and preserve maintenance, City of San Marcos, County of San Diego, State of California, authorizing annexation of territory to such community facilities and designation of improvement area number F59 thereto, and calling a special election and submitting to the voters of improvement area number F59 propositions regarding the annual levy of special taxes within the improvement area to pay the costs of certain public services and establishing an appropriations limit thereafter. Therefore, this is the time for the city clerk to canvass the ballot and to report the results of the election to the city council. I think he has envelopes or something to open.
Mayor, can I offer a point of clarification?
Yes.
For the motion and the second, it was to adopt items 14 and 15?
No, I'm doing them separately
You are,
today.
okay, thank you. So
Yes.
this is item 14 we're
This
doing?
is item number 14,
Thank you.
correct. Yep.
Should have brought a letter opener.
They're sealed. He has to open them.
Yeah. So for the first ballot regarding annexation 161, there are three ballots cast, and they're all voted yes.
And
Right. For the next one, there are 10 ballots cast, and all voted yes. In the final ballot, there are 5 ballots cast, and all voted yes. In the
Okay.
affirmative.
Then do I have a motion and a second to adopt?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. A resolution of the City Council of the City of San Marcos declaring the results of the consolidated special elections within Improvement District, area number F59 of Community Facilities District, number 9802, lighting, landscaping, open space, and preserve maintenance, City of San Marcos, County of San Diego, State of California. And do I have a motion and a second to waive full reading of the ordinance and to introduce the ordinance by title only an ordinance of the City Council of the City of San Marcos, California, acting as a legislative body of improvement area number F59 of Community Facilities District 9802, lighting, landscaping, open space, and preserve maintenance, City of San Marcos, County of San Diego, State of California, authorizing the levy of special taxes in such community facilities district.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Okay, this concludes the proceedings to designate improvement area number F59 of CFD 9802. Moving on to number 15. This is the time and place for the public hearing regarding the authorization of annexation of territory in the future to improvement area number F59 of Community Facilities District number 9802. Is there a staff report on this item? I think we did those together, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So I will now open the public hearing. Are there any persons wishing to speak or present testimony this evening?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. And have we any written protests that have been received?
No protests have been received, therefore a majority protest does not exist.
Okay. Have notices of the public hearing been published and mailed in accordance with state law?
Yes, notices have been provided in accordance with state law.
Okay. Do I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Okay, the public hearing is now closed. Do any members of the council have any questions or comments? Seeing none? Do I have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution of the City Council of the City of San Marcos, California, acting as the legislative body of improvement area number F59 of Community Facilities District number 9802, lighting, landscaping, open space, and preserve maintenance, City of San Marcos, County of San Diego, State of California, authorizing the annexation of territory in the future to such community facilities district and taking other actions related thereto.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any noes? Hearing none. This concludes the proceedings authorizing future annexations to improvement area number F59 and CFD number 9802. Okay, moving on. That's a lot of,
I know.
it's a lot.
I'm glad you came back from the.
Aren't
Item
you?
number 8.
Aren't you? Okay, moving on to oral communications. We have some speakers. We have Alondra Alvarez from Universidad Popular, and then also Flower Alvarez Lopez. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Jones and City Council members. For the record, my name is Alondra Alvarez, and I'm a community educator at Universidad Popular. I'm here to provide our on-the-record updates. So the first update that I'm going to be talking about is the Cal Kids program. So we're really excited to support outreach for the Cal Kids program and help families claim their college saving funds that are already set aside for their children. Our team is available on an ongoing basis to support enrollment and answer questions, and we encourage council members to learn more about the program. And if you would like more information or outreach materials about Cal Kids, we would be happy to provide those and support your offices in sharing this opportunity with constituents. And we have a ton of flyers that I'll give you all afterwards. And second, I want to share information about our upcoming May Day celebration. So on Friday, May 1st, we will be hosting a May Day celebration at Universidad Popular. The purpose of this internationally recognized day is to commemorate labor movements and advocate for workers' rights. And our intent is to create a space of informational resources and celebration for the community of San Marcos. We invite you all to stop by on Friday, May 1st, from 4 to 7 p.m. in front of our office on Autumn Drive, and we have more flyers that I'll share with you as well. Third is our CWAP. So we would like to highlight our ongoing work through the California Workers Outreach Program. As one of the 89 organizations that are recognized by the state and as trusted messengers for worker education, we are helping build a strong foundation for workers' protections in North County. We are actively growing into a regional hub for workers and are excited to see this work continue to expand. Recently, we had the really great opportunity to meet with Assemblymember Liz Ortega and share our efforts as a community-based organization, as well as present to the Senate Budget Committee in Sacramento about our work in San Marcos and across North County. So it was really great to get to highlight the work that we're doing down here. And fourth, I want to speak about our North County delegation to Sacramento for Immigrant Day of Action. So earlier this month, Universidad Popular chartered a delegation of 14 community members to the Capitol. And this was a historic step for North County. It was our first time leading such a large delegation, participating in panel workshops and legislative visits, all while advocating for the needs of our immigrant communities. And it was a lot of people's very first time in the Capitol. It was my first time, and we left the trip feeling very civically empowered. And so lastly, I just wanted to remind everyone that we continue another year of our civic initiatives, which include our comprehensive citizenship classes that are currently held Tuesdays from 5 to 7 at San Marcos Elementary on One Tiger Way. Thank you, and have a good evening. I have all the flyers here. I know who I hand them to.
Those to our city clerk. Thank you so much, Alondra. Flower Alvarez Lopez, welcome.
Hello, hola, buenas tardes, good evening, Mayor Jones, council members. For the record, my name is Flower Alvarez Lopez, and I'm with Universidad Popular, a community-based organization rooted here in North County, San Diego. I'm also a San Marcos resident. Really happy to be here with y'all this evening. Feels like it's been quite a while. I just returned from spending many weeks in Sacramento, so feels good to be home. I just wanted to echo everything my colleague Alondra said from our updates. We hope to see some familiar faces at our upcoming events. She mentioned our upcoming May Day event. We also have our Day of the Dead series community workshops. That will be all of October, and we will have our annual celebration in November recognizing our new citizens here in North County, and then we end with our community celebration in December. So we stay busy, and we hope that you all can spend some time with us coming up. I'll be around if anybody has any questions afterwards, but just wanted to come say hi real quick. Thank you.
Thank you, Flower. Yeah, welcome back. Okay, next up on the agenda is our AB 1234 reporting requirements. I had SANDAG last week, and pretty much the biggest item was an update on the State Route 11 Otay Mesa East Port of Entry project. And it is coming along. It's really going to be such a huge benefit to everyone bringing goods across, and then also the cars coming across the border. It's a huge project. If you've not been out there, it's unbelievable. It's really, really beautiful. I mean, it's first class, and it's going to be a lot quicker to get across the border, so it won't take so long, so there won't be as many greenhouse gases when cars are idling. And then the other item that we had was a budget amendment was for the downtown Imperial Avenue Bikeway, and we were accepting some money from the city of San Diego, which we did indeed do, but then there was a second part of it that we could not vote on because it was not properly noticed. There was a red line version that ended up happening, and we did not have that properly noticed, so we didn't vote on that. That will come back to the next meeting. They need an additional amount of money from our bikeway projects, so that we did not end up voting on. And then we talked also a little bit about the vacancies, recruitment, and retention efforts. And basically, there's about 12% vacancy rate at SANDAG. So if you want to go to their their message board of available vacancies, if you have any interest in working at SANDAG, I know they would sure like some valuable talent. So anyway, that was pretty much all we had on our agenda. And next up is going to be California League of Cities. Councilmember Musgrove.
We meet on the 12th of May, Mayor.
Okay. North
Mayor,
County. Oh, I'm sorry.
If
Oh,
I may,
yes, please do. Yes.
I do want to share a couple of things.
Yes.
If I may.
Yes. And you are the president of the San Diego League of California Cities.
So I want to
Got
make
it.
sure
Okay.
to stay
Yes.
on top. So last week was our 2026 City Leaders Summit. So I did get to attend, along with Michael Lieberman, our political affairs, our legislative affairs. So we did get to be in Sacramento last week. We were able to meet with Assemblymember Patel. Personally, she took time to meet with us. Once again, remind her of our priorities and to thank her for the $5 million that she secured for our city. So very welcoming, and we also did have a meeting with Senator Jones's office. He unfortunately could not be there to meet with us. He was actually in the middle of a committee hearing, so it was a very busy time. But we wanted to make sure to be up there and remind everybody of our priorities. So it was very successful. And then I do want to remind that for our next meeting here in the San Diego Division on May 11th, we are celebrating the Life 50th anniversary. Jen and Ted's going to be there. We're going to have a panel that's going to be moderated by Congressman Peters. And so it'll be May 11th from 11 to 1 o'clock. And so obviously you should have those invitations already. But I can have maybe Phil send those reminders for anybody who's available to attend.
Okay, and this is germane to that, to the League of California Cities, but I forgot to ask this question of our city manager, actually. When do we plan on getting the maps for SB 79? I think Sandag is working on them, but we are going to need to start talking about that. Do we have it could be a rough, I think it's maybe 3 weeks? Is it maybe 3 weeks?
Yes, we have the next few weeks is what we've been told.
Okay, okay. So once we have those, we need to start talking about those internally and then externally, because it will make a big impact. And I'm curious, Councilmember, did you bring up SB 79 to her at all? I'm thinking you did.
We did,
Yes.
several
Yes.
times.
It's the ire of the day, of the bad legislation. I know I talk about this every single meeting, but this is quite bad what we're thinking that it's going to be. So.
Yes, and we did get the opportunity to meet with our lobbyists, and so they're well aware that this is a priority for the city.
Okay, good. All right. And I think it's a priority across the 78. I think we're really seeing how it's going to highly impact us up here, because for every Sprinter stop that you have, which we have 4 in our city, it is a potential to increase your density substantially. So we're going to be fighting it. So anyway, okay, moving on to North County Transit District, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, so we have a couple of items that we talked about at our last board meeting. A couple months ago, the board asked staff to give us a top priority list of the Sprinter line crossing grade separation projects along the line, and they came up with 9 of them, and one of them was in San Marcos, which was 7th on the priority list. It's over there at Pacific Street and Mission Road. It's kind of that where that kind of like a S curve, kind of weird over there. Yeah. The one that I was really concerned about, and I thought was in San Marcos, but technically it's in Escondido, is off of Nordal and Mission. I know Danielle and Councilmember LeBlanc's brought that up before. But the top one, it was City of Vista, Vista Village. I think we all agree that that would be an important one to do. They're all important to do, and if we were ever able to do them all, it would help with traffic congestion. It would help with the Sprinter running more efficiently and on time. Of course, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And also, the interest, the learning curve for me was that it's not just a matter of getting the grant money from the transit district, but there's a matching component from the cities that are involved as well, and of course some partnership there too. So there would be some funds from our budget to go into that too, which makes it even a little bit more challenging. But at least
What's the percentage?
I don't have it off the top. I don't know, Michelle, if you know off the top.
Sure, it's probably high, because federal and state, there's usually at least a 20 to 30% match, I think.
Yeah, and
at
so
least. I think it's even higher than that.
When I learned that, and I was quickly reinforced that, yes, that Nordal location is indeed in Escondido and not San Marcos. But these are all super important to do. I wish we could do them, in the near term, but in all reality, these might not get done in any of our lifetime. But we'll keep working on it, and I think it was good that the board had that conversation with staff and just kind of keep it on the top of their minds that this is important for the communities that we all represent in our region in North County. And then the second big item we reviewed public feedback that the district had sought out regarding fare increases for the services for the Sprinter, the Coaster, and the Breeze. And we made a recommendation, along with MTS also made a recommendation to SANDAG, the Transportation Committee, to increase the fares. And I tried to open up the attachment that I had that had the exact numbers, but it won't open up for some reason in here. But it's about roughly about $1 a trip, which doesn't sound like a lot of money, but for those that use the services, it could add up, especially if they use it on a daily basis or multiple times a day. And then the other thing that they did is, right now, if you ride the coaster from, say, Oceanside to San Diego, there's 3 different zones. They just created one zone with one lower price to use it to go, and you go anywhere within those 3 zones. And so that was the big change. Strangely enough, North County Transit District doesn't have the authority just to raise the rates on their own, and so
Comes to me ultimately
it goes
at Board
to
of Directors,
SANDAG,
yeah.
and so this proposal is headed their way, and there's a comparable proposal coming from MTS. We're trying to keep MTS's fares and NCTD's fares consistent, so it removes some of that confusion from the riders that are on it. So if they go from different districts or different agencies, they, in one day they're not paying a different price. So we're trying to be consistent, and there's something else.
And it's cheaper if you buy a pass, right?
There is a savings if you buy a pass. Our board also asked staff to express to SANDAG that we're interested in having a low-income fare. It's not quite sure how we would implement that and what it would cost to implement that, but there was an appetite on the board to have that. And the other thing I wanted to stress is that these North County Transit District, the fares have not been increased since 2008. So that was the last time that the fares were increased. And as a relatively new board member there, been on the board for about 2 years, that just seemed kind of weird to me. It's not sustainable, as you can imagine, cost for everything. Operating train systems and buses, and it's not inexpensive, and those costs go up every single year. And so, not 100% sure the background as to why. I take that back. I asked the question, and it was a lot of, well, there was a recession, and then there was COVID, and there was a lot of good reasons not to increase rates during those times. But that's 16 years. It's a long time not to adjust your rates to be able to support the system that's so important. And the end result is not just a larger than normal increase this year because there's a gap to close, but even with this increase, the North County Transit District is facing a $16 million deficit, even with this. And so there's a lot of financial headwinds ahead. And I think some of that came from the lack of action from previous boards that got us to this point.
Well, and also there are now youth opportunity passes.
There is, yep.
Yeah, when that's kind of newer, and that is so that anyone under 18 rides for free. So you do have a lot of people that are on it.
If you have an expensive service and you give it away for free, then I don't know how you pay your employees and keep the trains moving, but they're working on it.
Okay. North County Dispatch, Joint Powers Authority.
We meet at the end of May.
I could have sworn you said that you were having a meeting before then. I was like, it's your,
No. I think I'm covering League of California Cities in May, though.
Oh,
so.
okay. Okay. All right, good. Clean Energy Alliance, Councilmember Nunez.
Thank you, Mayor. We meet this coming Thursday. It'll be our April meeting, so April the 30th. We start at 2 p.m. and we're meeting at the Leucadia Wastewater District Boardroom. So I do encourage our residents to attend. For those that cannot attend in person, we do have a Zoom option. They can join via Zoom and make virtual public comments.
And so they just go to the website?
Go to the website, you'll see the published agenda, and they'll see the link to the Zoom meeting.
Okay. City Council business visits, I think Unreal Designs, Councilmember LeBlanc and Councilmember Nunez.
And this is hot off the press,
yes.
right?
Unreal, I love it. When did you have this?
Today.
Oh, wow, today.
This afternoon.
Really hot off the press. Yeah.
It was, yes. So this is a unique business. This was really cool. It's on Linda Vista Drive. It's been open since 2021, and they just moved to San Marcos about a year and a half ago. And what they specialize in is artificial. Is it that? Yes, that's artificial.
Really cool.
Isn't that gorgeous?
It's artificial?
It's artificial. It's all artificial.
real.
They do artificial backdrops for events, but they also do permanent artificial landscaping. And it's all these walls, and then they have different designs, and you can do floral, you can do greenery, and it's just beautiful. So with the permanent designs where they put them in your backyard, or they will even put them over a wire fence that you have and attach it to the fence, they use a steel structure underneath. So it's very resilient and lasts for a long time. And she said you just spray it off to clean it. So if anybody needs a backyard remodel, this is a really cool option. But they also do custom designs for events, or they have a huge area where they have a bunch of pre-made ones. And they said people book them months out, or you could call them and say, I have an event tomorrow, can you help me out? And they said they'll make it work.
Wow.
So it's a really small company. There's only 4 of them.
And can I add, I think what it took in maybe a minute or less than 2 minutes to put this up for us for our photo op.
Exactly.
Right, they were so fast.
Yeah, this was a 3-part wall that they just put together for us to take a photo in front of.
That's really cool. And then you spray it, you hose it down.
If it's a
found that
permanent
hilarious.
structure, you just hose it down. And
Wow.
And then they said this is a very niche business. There are only a few of them nationwide. So we have them right here in San Marcos.
Wow.
And their goal is to expand. They do a lot of nationwide events too. They've done installations in Vegas, New York, all around the country. So yeah, there are some other of their.
Wow, those are like roses.
Yeah, so they do floral
wow.
ones
Those are
or
really
just
cool.
greenery.
Huh.
It's really beautiful and just really nice people. You have 4 of them. There's a fabricator, the owner, and then 2 employees who attach all the greenery. It was
You have a
really
neighbor
cool.
that, like, you don't want to look at their yard or something, you could put one of these beautiful things up, and you don't even have to have a water source. That's the best part about it.
Exactly.
So,
And
very
they said they do a
sustainable.
lot of privacy walls. They do a lot of businesses too.
Mm-hmm.
They just did a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere up in Orange County or LA.
LA, I
Yeah,
believe that was
LA.
LA, yes.
And they have a great Instagram too if you want to get an idea of their designs.
Very cool, so you
Anything
could
to-
rent it for a day.
Exactly. And they have they have a heart, they have a swing, they have a big archway. So all different things that you can rent.
I could see this being really cool for like, do you want to come to homecoming with me?
Yes,
Or, I mean, it's
exactly.
extravagant, but you know, some people are extravagant, or will you marry me? Or
Yeah.
something very cool.
Did you mention what the location? I might
It's
have missed
on
it.
Linda Vista
Vista.
Drive.
Okay.
I forget the exact
Oh.
address. But in that
Thinking
area
versus
where there's all
maybe.
those small businesses, the industrial area back there, what was the cross street?
Yeah, it's a corner of Linda Vista and Las Posas.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
okay.
that area.
Yeah, a little bit past there. There's a bunch of great businesses over there if you just ever want to drive through and check all those businesses out over there. And they are open to the public. So if anybody just wants to walk in and check out what they have to offer, they said they always welcome people to come in and take a tour.
Yeah, they did, they don't really have a showroom that's set up. I think they would really benefit from adding that, and it seems like they're headed in that direction.
Yes.
But they don't turn anybody away. And
Yeah.
it's just such a great resource. I was really impressed with how small the team is and how it seems like they travel if they need to do installations.
Yeah, and they just make it work. They have a truck, and
they rent
a truck
the
for the
truck.
bigger events. So they are just very tight knit, which is always wonderful to see tight knit, successful businesses in our community. So this is a great, unique one. So keep them in mind for events or backyard redesign. trying to think if now I want to remodel my backyard and have all this gorgeous artificial greenery.
It's really beautiful.
It really is.
They're looking to grow. They want to stay in our city.
Yes.
And so we're going to help and make that
Find
happen.
them a new spot.
And possibly,
Or maybe
yes.
something next door. Sometimes they have adjacent units that go out of business or move, or so they might be able to grow right where they're at.
We talked to them, and economic development will be working with them to find a bigger space to make sure we can keep them in our city.
And that's free to our businesses. If anyone out there knows of one of our businesses, we love to help them grow within our community and stay here. But we're right here in North County in San Marcos. Okay, any other discussion? I wanted to bring up San Marcos Forward was last week, last Wednesday. Great event, another great event. And we'll be having, I can't remember the date off the top of my head. We'll be having our State of the City, which is a free event for all citizens to come to the end of June, I think. I don't know. They just tell me to put it in my calendar and I do
I
it.
believe it's the end of July.
July? Okay, the end of July. So just for everyone to kind of keep your eyes open. It's our free city event. We talk about everything that we've done this last year and kind of what's coming up. We talked a lot about us becoming the healthcare epicenter of North County, which is exciting, and just all of the stuff that we did over the last year. And earlier today, we also had, I'm still super excited about this, Michelle, I wrote it down, how our city staff loves to save money, and they're working really hard to maximize everything that they do. We had our budget workshop earlier, and our maintenance workers have found a cost savings of almost $700,000. Our energy efficient park lighting is going to save us about $150,000 a year. And then our street sweeping crew figured out how to save us about $18,000 a year. So all of these things that we're doing, really exciting, and it's so we can continue to keep our parks beautiful and really invest in all of you and to improve your quality of life. Any other discussion? I have something. Yes, Councilmember LeBlanc.
I just wanted to mention that this Saturday is the Bags and Brews put on by Parks and Recreation. So if you don't have any plans, it's a great event to go to. You can take your kids, watch the cornhole tournaments, or you can register. I think the registration's still open. I'm not sure. We'll have to confirm that. But it's a great cornhole tournament. Yes. Yes. Okay. Registration is still open if anybody plays cornhole and wants to register. You can also join a team of two if you have two people who want to play if you don't have a full team. So it's a really fun event, local breweries, and lots of vendors. So just bring the family or head out yourself and check that out.
Okay. All right. With that, this meeting's adjourned. Thank you for coming.